Whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, or these badass salads and pastas that we're eating as we talk, this is your All-Terrain Nation. I'm your host, David Wood, alongside my co-host,
Kelly Boyd.
And Miss Allie. Allie's got she's got a mouthful of food over there. She's like, shut up, David. Look, she's blushing a little bit. It's funny. This is
Way
your...
to call her out.
I haven't eaten all day, damn it.
Same.
This is your Ford Talk Live presented by Nobody.
See, here's the problem. I'm on the side of TikTok where like all these people are eating like cucumbers in all these fancy ways. Yeah, that's what this is.
So is that the cucumber mix thing?
Mm-hmm.
So is that the like, what are they calling it? The spiralizer or whatever guy? There's some guy that's...
Yeah, the cucumber guy?
Yeah. So because the only reason I know is because somebody posted, it was like in one of my mom's groups is like, okay, ER moms, tell me how many hands have you seen in due to the mandolin or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's that thing. So I cut my cucumbers normally. Like with the knife.
I like Tim Burns.
See?
True story.
This is literally the fact of my life because today was a shit show. So.
Oh, that's no good. No bueno.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of no bueno today. Is Laura in the house? Is she here yet? She may not be here tonight. They were on vacation, I think.
What? She gets a vacation?
I know.
What?
That's not Bronco related?
Hey, Ford enthusiast in the house. Thank you for becoming a subscriber, by the way.
Yes, thank you.
Or
thank
a
you.
member.
Matt
Cheers.
Porter's here. I haven't seen him in a while.
Matt, you're not tattooing people? What's going on, man? Oh, well, this is Monday night, so you know what we're going to do. We're going to talk some Ford products, and we got to be at a press conference for the new Bronco Sport, so we'll talk a little bit about that. We've got some news. We've been negotiating. We'll talk a little bit about it because they're probably not going to happen. Sorry, Laura, probably not going to happen, but we've been negotiating to get rid of Rebecca. And yeah.
I didn't even know he was negotiating until the offer came through.
That's right. So Rebecca, there's a chance she could be gone. She could be out here. She could be a Midwestern girl. Yep. She could be gone.
Oh
Along with the Ranger Raptor though as well. There was a major deal going on. Even Allie, I was having to talk to Allie about this, and it's not through Brighton Ford, by the way. It's a different dealership, but
yeah, but I can't for a reason.
You're right.
We're just gonna.
But anyways, like Kelly's telling me, she's kicking me already. She's like, "Shut up! We're not getting rid of Rebecca."
Yeah.
I also can't talk about it, but
Right. But I hope everybody's having a good Monday. Kelly, how's your Monday went? Pretty good? No?
Yeah, it's actually been not bad. It was hot. I had to do my shift at the ball field before I came and saw you guys, between me leaving my day job, going to my softball job, and then coming here to
a second job or third job.
My third job of the evening, and it was hot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
AC Central here, week 3 or 4 of weird AC problems. Saturday, we came back. That's why I was wearing the ball hat. I was trying to be funny. But we came back from the ball field, and I thought, we have on our phone, you can check your thermostat. And I was like, I love that feature. I love you can just adjust it when you're not home. And I was like, I'm just going to check because I had a gut feeling.
And we would been at the ball field hot all day.
And yeah, it was 85 in the house when we got home. So that was really nice. But for some reason, we turned it off, left it off for an hour. It kicked back on, and we woke up to 70-degree temps in the house.
Yeah, our HVAC guy came on Friday and said that it's a part that he's already replaced once on it. But he thinks this will do it this time. But yet, if you're not new to the show and you were with us last Monday, you know that we talked about how we got a new HVAC unit in like 2020 or 2021. So it's like it's not an old unit, and it's still under warranty, but it's annoying. It's yeah.
Last year was Allie's remodel, so this year I guess it's our paint in the house.
Well, and unfortunately here in Middle
Tennessee, it's still going on because my dog decided to get sick.
There's that. And unfortunately here in Tennessee this week, we are under the hottest week of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, us too. We're under a heat advisory.
Yeah, us too. And so we're not really sure what softball's going to happen for the rest of the week because of said heat advisory. So we'll see.
Let's see. G. Wilker's announced. We ain't seen G. Wilker's in a while. What do you guys know about a Mustang pickup? Real or clickbait? That's clickbait, man. I know they've talked about some off-road-ish stuff. I don't know why you would ever make a rally style Mustang for the car.
Hey, everything's getting rally now.
I know, even the modes.
Everything, even the Bronco Sport got the rally mode.
That's right. But I don't know that the Allie and Tim and them would know better than me, but I don't know that the Mach E rally is like really flying off the shelves.
Right.
So if they can't sell that one, I don't know.
I don't know.
I know they have talked about an off-road version. There is, of course, there is that
I'm freezing.
oh, what's the Thomas Crown Affair, where they've got the cool rally Mustang that he's driving, and Richard Rawlings from Gas Monkey built that. And
I'll tell you right now how much my manager like does. I'm gonna get yelled at if he's watching this. Oops. How much he doesn't know about the rally. We have a grabber yellow on our lot. And it's like parked over on the side. He goes, "Oh, is that the rally?" I'm like, "No, you refused to order one because you didn't think it would sell." But yeah. Good
yeah,
time.
but it yeah, so yeah, Mustang stuff. I don't know what the Mustang's kind of a weird thing to me because they don't sell. And I'm not saying this because of ours, the debacle of ours, but what?
Steve P said, "Suck it up." I think that's the meanest thing I've ever seen him say about the temperature.
Oh
It
yes,
is hot.
sorry, Steve. You chose to live there, sir. You chose to live there. But like Mustang's kind of weird to me because when I was a kid, they would sell 150,000 a year, like it was nothing.
Yeah, because we went over their numbers a couple weeks ago, or a month or so ago.
But like the nameplate doesn't have what, I think that's why I've seen it in the news. I know Farley was talking about some of this stuff a little bit, poking the bear a little bit. But I just think they're trying to build any kind of excitement for that car as they can, which is a bummer, man. I still think value per horsepower, that is the most fun car you can have for the price of it. But
speaking of, let's see.
Oh,
let's
database Kelly kicking
let's
in.
Let's do
might as well get an update of where I seen it. They turned it on today.
I saw that there was something that happened today because there was some like fault or something that popped up on it.
Yeah, this little sensor that always screwed us with us. Oh, it's still there though.
But it was not right there or earlier. Somebody drove it because it was down there earlier. It was down the road.
Taking a test drive.
Yeah, they were. But it's in Louisiana.
What's town?
It's in Metairie.
Metairie. There you go. So if you want our Ford Mustang, why? And Allie may know better than me. Why would they buy a car in Middle Tennessee and then pay to ship it? Like, I bet our Jeep Gladiator, the same thing. They probably sent it like 1,000 miles away.
Wait,
it just
y'all
seems like
did it to Carvana, didn't you?
We did.
Yeah, but it just seems like it kills the potential profit because you pay to ship these.
You do, but they do all their shipping in house usually.
But there's still a cost to it.
Yeah, there's still a cost to it, but when it's hard to sell an A-Planner, a used car, like close to the same A-Plan price when you're like shopping new versus used. So that's why like things take such a hit. Like at least up in Michigan, where like you sell it down south and you can make so much more money. It's just, that's their markup, but that's the thing. If you compare,
what are you saying? We would have lost like 50 grand in your state if we would have sold it.
At least 49.
It's now a $7,000 car.
Right.
It's $1. I got you. Wait, what's that one guy in the store? I got you $1. But it's a different market, and it's just really weird how it works. And if you look at Carvana's pricing, it's so out of whack. Like, I guess this was like a year and a half ago, when things were still a little bit more complicated to get. But there were guys, I spoke to one guy. He didn't want to deal with the dealers. And he had sent in, I can't remember like how I ended up talking to this guy. He like had sent in something. We called out. He had like asked for us not to talk to him. Said he was buying a car through Carvana. So I'm like, screw it. I'm going to see what these prices are like. He was buying a Bronco Sport. He had a base Bronco Sport. Okay. Like nothing on it. I'm talking about like not even tinted windows. $7,000 over MSRP.
Wow.
And he was super content with paying that until I brought him to like realize, I'm like, hey, like you have to wait a month for this car. Because again, shipping, everything. I mean, this one was actually at MAP. I told him a month, it took 2 weeks. I'm like, listen, you have to wait a little bit, but this is the car. Like, this is your financing. There's a better interest rate. There was 5,000 miles less on the car. Like, you're buying a 5,000 mile car, which again, not bad.
Mm-mm.
You're paying $7,000 over MSRP. Over MSRP. Like, so they have the markup. They have the money. So, like, whenever people want to, like, trade in to Carvana, I'm like, do it. Because it's them biting the bullet, not us. So
Yeah,
it's just one of those. It's just one of those things. They just sell to a completely different market.
I'm sure they have in-house financing as well, so they're making money there as well.
Oh, they
somehow.
absolutely do.
Yeah.
100%. They have like 4 different banks that like they only work with, and then they kind of get shitty as soon as like you say that you'll like do it yourself. But I don't know.
Well, that was getting shitty with Allie. Brought to
I'll
you
let
by
Carvana spend their
Pampers.
money. I don't care.
Brought to you by Pampers. When you think of getting shitty, you think of Pampers. There we
Wow.
go.
I'm gonna need you to stop, sir.
Hey man, I'm trying any way to make this thing work. Anyway, like we'll plug anything. I don't care, man. Tylenol, and she gives you the headache. Tylenol. I guess when I give you the headache.
Oh my god.
Oh man, let me pull up some.
I was just trying to see if our Mustang was on Carvana's site still, or on Carvana's site.
Carvana. Where is all my
Nope.
pictures?
They must have
know.
sold it.
I have like
Somebody
30
else.
plus messages from Jenna, Laura, and Kevin.
So you think it's sold?
They must have sold it to somebody else because it is not on their website.
They probably realized shit. We overpaid for that, and they still cranked
Why
us.
don't you Google the VIN?
Don't be smart, Allie. Damn
All
it.
right. I'm putting this in the chat. This is Allie's video on the Bronco Sport, which we're about to talk about. So you guys got to give Allie. She's at 78 views.
Baby Bronco.
You got to get Allie to 100 views tonight.
Yeah, because I stayed up till 3 a.m. making
She
it.
did. She worked hard on that video. So you guys watch it as I try to find my
Stupid
pictures
video.
wherever they went. Allie, how Bronco Sport? It was time to refresh it, right?
It absolutely was.
I mean, it still was selling, but you could definitely, I've seen tracking this stuff. It definitely wasn't doing the numbers that they were initially. So I think some of the other competitors, Subaru and everybody, which is weird to me to say Subaru is a competitor for that vehicle, but it kind of is.
But it kind of is. Like, even up in Michigan, like, we don't typically have Subaru buyers, but like ever since Bronco Sport came out, like we've had a couple. It's not a ton, but it's definitely a couple. Hey, Ken.
But it's definitely in that kind of category, though. I think it's like Subarus. I always think of, and I'm not nothing against Subaru, but I always feel like they're just little cars that they've sort of jacked up to make them off-roadish. Where I look at the Bronco Sport and I'm like, okay, that looks like an SUV. It fits the part better than I think Subaru does.
So, you know how we like joke that Bronco's a cult and like so is Jeep?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Subaru is a cult.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it is wild to me how dedicated those customers are.
Oh, no, they know their demographic very well. But let's get into.
Yeah, I won't go into that.
Yeah, they
So I googled the VIN, just so you know, before you transition.
Okay.
I googled the VIN, and it was sold through Carvana out of Alabama, and it went to Louisiana.
So it went to auction?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was sold from Carvana, so it went to Louisiana. So somebody bought it and drove it to Louisiana, or Carvana sold it to somebody in Louisiana.
Yeah.
So it's either a private sale now, or it was a dealer. Yeah.
It probably went to auction.
Yeah, probably. Oh well. It's out of my off my books. That's all I care
Why
about.
can't I log in?
It's a little too pricey to get it off the books,
and
but
whatever it was, 10K or whatever later, off our savings is gone. And that's enough Mustang tonight. It just brings up a lot of bad memories. Let's see. Even though I really love that car, so this was the entrance to Bronco Off Rodeo. As you can see, that's a temporary building, Allie. The real building.
I got a picture. I know.
But the real building is it's up.
Yeah.
It looked like they were doing wiring and stuff. They weren't.
So
they didn't even have temporary electricity out there yet. They had the pole ready, but they hadn't hooked it up.
So that means they're still getting permitting and stuff like that for it. But this was a nice little very small. You can tell why they had brought groups of like 4 or 5 journalists in at a time. You can definitely tell. The vehicles we got to experience were prototypes though, which is very strange for a press drive because we didn't expect to get a drive. Like Kelly drove the thing. I was filming. I told her this is your video. I'm filming and that's it. Let you get some seat time. And yeah, so we had a nice little, this will be the entrance of Bronco Off Rodeo here. You can see the lake is kind of behind us and directly behind it. That is where the building is. But they snuck us. They did a little sneaky. So they had our backs turned and they were doing their presentation. And all of a sudden quietly, they bring in the new Sasquatch version of this thing. And I'll be honest, it's pretty badass.
It is.
And our daughter still says no though. So
thanks, Rob. I appreciate it.
It still doesn't meet Sydney's rigid standards of off-road vehicles.
I even told her, I was like, Sydney, there's a Sasquatch version. She's like, I don't care. And it was like,
I know this one definitely this one steps it up. Actually,
for sure.
So super funny. I didn't realize y'all were driving them until I talked to Tom. So Tom texted me because of course I text him how it was because I was doing posts for him, teaser posts. Because for those of you who don't know and are going to Supercell, Bronco Sport will be there.
So it's official?
Yeah.
Nice.
So, we posted the article about it. So.
Oh, okay. Well, it better happen, right?
Well, they were loading
it'll change 50 times.
Well, they were loading these up on a trailer, so you'll probably see the exact same ones that we did because
they said they only had trailer. Coming.
I think they said they only had 4 or 5 of them.
I don't remember. I know there were only 4 in the field, and then there were 2 that we off-roaded.
Yeah.
But I love the whole Calvin and Hobbes thing here of the Bronco peeing in its little corner there, marking it's just marking his territory for the new Bronco Off Rodeo.
Oh my god!
But
so I text Tom just how everything was and stuff. So. He texts me back. He goes, I did not wreck it, but I met a bunch of your Dearbonian friends. I'm like, okay. And then he tried to break it down for me. I'm like, I got it. We're good.
Yeah, but bring this back up. There's a little bit better picture. It was interesting. This was not posed like this. They drove it up this stuff. We got to watch them drive up this stuff, which is pretty rad, really.
To be full transparency, I was like, this would not be me.
Well, it did get a little wobbly.
Yeah,
a little sketchy.
Definitely had to be slow when they did it, and this guy obviously had done it however many times.
He'd done it all week.
They did this, for the journalists because they did it every single session.
I think they had 3 sessions a day.
I think 3 sessions a day times 3 days, maybe. So. I'm sure he did it 10, 12, 15 times, So, but yeah, so it was a little sketch for me, but it definitely, it just shows you kind of the capability of the vehicle itself.
Right.
That's fantastic.
But it was kind of interesting because there was journalists who were not in the off-road world.
Yeah.
There with us that we know.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. They got to actually see what makes an off-road vehicle an off-road vehicle. Besides when it's on the ground, these people are never getting on their hands and knees to look under a vehicle.
Right.
So it was kind of interesting that they did this. But ruby red was the big takeaway for me. Ruby red is a rad color for this, man.
It is very pretty.
And seeing now that I did that video last week on ruby red with the painted hardtop on this, seeing it in person. Where are you at with this color? Because we haven't really got to talk about this. Where would you're a rapid red girl, but would this fit the need for if you wanted a new Bronco and this was the color?
It would. It would fit the need. I would like it to be a little bit brighter, but I'm definitely glad that it is the same family of red that Rapid Red is, because Race Red is just a little too bright for me. It's not pearly enough for me.
Well, I don't think there's any pearl in
right.
Race
So
Red.
like, it's just not. So for me, this definitely fits the bill. Like I said, I wish they'd bring Rapid Red back, but this is the second choice for me.
Yeah, and I'll let me pull this up. I want to bring up that.
And for those that know or haven't watched the video yet, Ruby Red and Velocity Blue are the two new for 2025.
I do love the Velocity Blue. So that's been growing on me on the full-size Bronco. And I love the fact that they brought it there.
So was it? I always get these two blues, Velocity and
it was Lightning that was exclusive to the first edition, right? That's what I thought.
And it's like I think it's like one shade different or something.
Well, Velocity was on Bronco at one time.
It's still on. It's still on Big Bronco.
Still there? Okay, I can't remember if they got rid of it.
I thought Velocity Blue was no longer.
After this,
it is still.
Okay.
I think I was thinking it was no longer on the full size too.
Yeah. So let me. I want to bring this up because, and we're going to get deeper into the Bronco Sport, but I want to look at this here because this was the photo going around. It was on, I forget the gentleman's name that snagged it in Michigan. I put credit to him in the Instagram post and stuff. But this is what the two-door is going to look like. And I guess they had a two-door and a four-door floating around. And somebody was trying to say this is AI generated. I was like, are you kidding me, man? There'd be like 4 different license plates all over this place. There'd be noses poking out everywhere.
Oh, will you look at those wheels, though? They're the best.
No, they're awful. I'm kidding. But what I wanted to ask you about, Kelly, is I think when we look at, and I'll bring it back in just a second, the black glossy roof on the Sport, I think on this you would want the glossy black roof. I don't know that I'd want the painted body colored roof.
I don't know. It's I kind of like it. I kind of like it with the painted top.
I'm curious in the comments, which would you go? I kind of would think because it's got a little, not pink to it. There's something a little, not pink, but there's a pearl to it that just gives it a different shimmer.
Hush your mouth, sir.
Sorry. And I think the black would help kind of tone that down a little bit.
No. That's the answer. No.
What do you think, Allie? Black roof or painted roof?
The roof I have now. Mick,
for you?
What? Do you want to know what I see as soon as I see a painted top? Now that I've had one on our lot.
We don't want to. We don't want to know.
Scratches.
Oh.
Well, that's any of these though.
Ford Video Guy says put a poll up. That's a good idea.
Actually, that's a really good idea.
We will definitely do that on that. So
everyone put Mick.
But we'll break this down just a little bit. This was last week.
Okay, hold on, wait. Ken brought up a great comment. It looks like a Jeep. First off.
Well, come on. Let's be honest. It's not like they didn't copy Jeep's homework with this. Okay, even though it's a better riding vehicle and it's a better product, but let's not act like they didn't copy it.
But have you literally seen? Did you see the pictures I posted of the inside of the painted top?
Yeah,
it's white.
It's not even white. It's like it's literally a Jeep top.
Yeah, because it's a different manufacturer too, is my understanding. It's not what Boston's doing those.
It starts with a T.
Yeah.
Tajin, I don't know.
And I bet money it's the same people that are doing. I know Bastos does some stuff for Jeep products, but I bet money it's the same company that does for Jeep. But guess what? Our Jeep top, that was a great top.
It was absolutely superior.
And even though we bought the Ford top recently, I would prefer that Jeep top over what we have now.
We actually did a comparison when we drove our Gladiator up to Michigan and drove the first edition. We actually did a comparison group of pictures. I don't know that we ever put it in a video, but there was a significant difference in quality. Obviously, we know early on hard tops, different ball game, but it's still kind of the same idea. It's still a different, it's still a different top. Like there's still a different quality situation.
It was night and day different.
Night and day different. You could definitely tell that there was a lot of attention to detail done to the Jeep top. comparatively, it didn't feel like the same with the hard top. Even like Dave said, even with the Ford hard top that we've gotten, it's still unfortunately, I hate to say, it's the Ford top is, or I mean, the Jeep top was still a superior top from that perspective. Check your spelling.
Yeah. Well.
Rob Hallmark says, if I had money, armadillo designs. I don't know about armadillo.
Rob,
it's a little too much for me.
Did you? I'm going to bring some photos up of that thing because I put them on Bronco Nation. Dude, what they were showing in their show.
I didn't.
What they were, the top they had on their vehicle at the show, who you're showing your product to buy, was awful. There were cracked welds, as you could see. They're unfinished welds. It was bad. And I'm rooting for those guys. I don't like that top personally, but I'm rooting for any small company trying to bring something new in. So
I didn't love it at Supercell.
I was going to do a video on this, how bad it was. And then I was just like, it would come off of me just being mean.
Yeah. Like Rob said, though, those were pre-production. And I get it. I totally get it. But at the same point,
Rob,
it's like we've talked. Stop talking.
Well, I would be super interested to see if they come again to Tennessee.
Yeah.
To see like what the actual, because like I get it. We have like pre-production units that like we see all the time. That stuff. I have one of my customers who like, whenever he gets something new, he always brings it up so we can see it. Like he'll tell us if we can post pictures of it or not. Mm-hmm. Like we know it's not going to be perfect. We know it's going to have wrong interior. We know that there's going to be gaps. Like we know what we're looking at. But just like from an overall standpoint, I didn't really know what to expect on that. Mm-hmm. But it didn't blow me away. Like from what everyone made it sound a lot cooler than what it actually was. Mm-hmm. But kind of like Dave said, I mean, like if you're a small business starting something like that, like more power to you. Like 100%. It is so hard to get as far as they already have. But me personally, I just like was not a fan of it.
For sure.
And the poll is live now, so you guys can vote.
Yeah, so definitely go ahead and click your answer for that. J Ray says, Allie, do we know when the 25 F-150 order banks will open?
I honestly have not been paying attention to F-150.
Maybe Ford Video Guy knows off the top.
Yeah, if I had to guess, I would probably say, because like they just started Job 2 not that long ago. So I would probably look at F-150.
Laura says end of August.
I was going to guess end of September. So
yes, Ruby Red is coming to Maverick as well. Mm-hmm. So it's coming to Maverick. It is coming to Bronco Sport, and it's not officially coming to full-size Bronco, but you can see that obviously it's coming to Bronco. So yeah, which makes sense. Like we've talked about in the past, like you can only have so many paint bays. You know, like you can only have so many colors.
Yeah.
Oh, Ford Video Guy said they opened today. What?
So this is the Armadillo hardtop, and that's a cracked weld. That right there is a cracked weld on that. And I've got some other photos of it. You can see the cracked weld up there. The welds just look like they smeared them. Aluminum's hard to weld, which this top is. It's a skill to properly weld aluminum. But this was all through that top, and I forget the guy's name that owns the company or runs it or whatever. He came up to me and he asked, hey, you need help? And I said, no, I'm good. And because I wanted to interview them, and I saw that, and I was just like, it would be mean. And I have some welding skills, so I'm not speaking from somebody that doesn't know anything of what they're talking about. But it wouldn't be mean, like purposely being mean. It just would come off as mean. So I'm not going to do, but that picture on that, but that was definitely
he doesn't just have mean bones in his body, just so everybody knows.
Yes.
He just sounds like
Well, so the thing of it is so you can see right there. Yes. Is that correct? But the thing of it is with this is these tops are going to be $5,000 to $7,000.
Oh, for sure.
And we just came over people getting effed over by whoever's side of that debacle you're on. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of people, 1,200 orders I thought we saw. That's a lot of people effed over. So right. I don't want to see people, and I feel it's our responsibility, especially because we love that community. I feel like it's our responsibility if we see something, not to be mean, but to go, hey, be careful.
Right.
Buyer, be careful. So
I get it.
We'll leave it at that.
I get it. But you also have to be a little understanding on the other side of the manufacturing as well.
I just don't think if I were going to bring it to market, not to market, but to customers to say, hey, here's our product. I want the product. I would be very like no flaws.
But we've also talked about this here's a little marital donation for you. We've also talked about this in our lives too. We hold ourselves to a higher standard, and we hold other people to a higher standard than what necessarily people might hold themselves standards wise.
But
so
there it is.
Douglas Blair says Dave is a real softy who loved bourbon. There is that.
But I see. I think the black on this. I think it really goes well to me personally between the two colors, breaking it up just a little bit. I think there's certain color. I mean, a black one with black painted roof. That's a given. That's going to look really cool. White with a black painted roof could look cool, or it could go with the white painted top. I think that would look good as well. Yeah. But I think for Ruby Red, for me personally, I don't know that I'd want the painted roof, or I think I'd want the black.
Are we talking on the full size Bronco now?
On the full
because
size
you're
Bronco.
Showing.
Well, because this is the only thing I have to kind of show the contrast.
Just trying to understand where you're going.
But back to the Bronco Sport here. But as you can see here in the background, that is the building for the off-rodeo, which it's a big building.
It is. It is very big.
It's way bigger than Vegas.
It feels, Allie, it feels like it was bigger than Austin. Yeah. It may not be square footage wise, but it really felt like it was bigger.
I don't know. Texas is pretty big.
Yeah.
John.
No one knows where Dave is going. Yeah, we know.
No. Josh, I like his Vols jersey. Hey man, it's just colors. That's what they had. I ordered it.
He likes orange. It's his favorite color. He won't tell you.
I do like orange. Dave needs a hug tonight.
He probably does.
Yeah.
I'll give you
But so yeah, the building. I wanted to go into it, but I also didn't want to piss Ford off because they weren't really like going, hey, come check this.
No,
what could be out.
But I do think it's a home run for location though.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at all the people now. I mean, I think they're sold out for the year.
So what they told us at the press release, and we're going to do something on the Bronco off-rodeo location. But they said the reason they did Tennessee was that now there is a Bronco off-rodeo location within 500 miles of 80% of the consumers of Bronco.
Yeah, before the Tennessee version, it was only 50% of the country. Yeah. They were within 500 miles for travel.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's 80%. So it's covered.
Sorry, Florida. You're not getting anything.
They can come to Tennessee. But yeah, so yeah, Josh, we're big fans of the location. Definitely can't wait to see what it turns out to be the final location as well. So we're excited about it for sure. Now we just need to be able to go do an off rodeo there to test it and see what that off terrain looks like.
Yeah, my only concern for off rodeo in Tennessee is the fact that rain.
Yes.
Like Texas, Austin's pretty protected because they do get rain, but a lot of rock.
Yes.
Here we're dealing with a lot of rock plus mud with it.
Yes.
So I mean, obviously they're going to take care of this. It's
right.
Not.
Ken, I'm so jealous of Emily.
Me too.
She missed off the off rodeo weekend for the girls' weekend by a weekend though.
Oh man.
Yeah. So let's break this thing down, ladies. This is the interior of the Badlands with Sasquatch package. I love those seats.
So
I do too. I'm a big fan.
I would like to see some of this fun come into the full-size Bronco.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's cloth above the yellow stripe that you see in the middle. Yeah, so that is a cloth. It's like a sporty cloth type finish is what it is. And, you do actually have an Easter egg on the side. I talked about it, but Dave said the video got too long, so he cut it out. So there's a Bronco on the side. and that's only in the Sasquatch. And there is a pocket right below that too, which is cool.
Yes, this is a pocket.
And if you haven't watched the video, you need to watch the video because the Bronco Sport honestly surprised me with some of the features that it has in it that I was like, really? This makes sense.
The one thing out of the Bronco Sport Sasquatch that they missed that they should have done is right here. They should have put a real shifter in it.
Yeah,
I just think it would have given it that, because they definitely give it that masculine touch. I think that would have just finished it off very nice. Obviously, it doesn't need it. It doesn't. Ours doesn't need the shoe. You could put a dial on ours and do the exact same thing. But I love the fact that they gave it the handle like the big Broncos got. That's fun. I mean,
yeah, but I like that handle better than the one that we have.
Well, they've had a few more years to refine it a little bit.
Very true.
But they didn't. I asked the design team. I was like, "So why didn't you do the handle on the other side?" And he goes, "You know what? I don't know."
Oh, did you?
Yeah, he was stumped by that. He goes, he was quietly there for a second, like, "Oh shit."
Why didn't we think of that?
I mean,
no, like, why are they asking me this?
Because your hand should be on the steering wheel.
Yeah, but if you're off-roading, the Bronco, full-size Bronco has it. I mean,
yeah, I have it on this side.
No, you have a handle on the side. No, you don't. You don't, do you? No, you don't. You're okay. You're right.
No, but so I won't name names of who we were talking to, but we were talking to someone who was asking questions about like different parts of the vehicle and asked if we even use the handles, and we don't. I use the steering wheel to get up in the truck. Like the truck is lifted, so I do need a little oomph to get up there, and so I use the steering wheel to get up. As a passenger, I don't use that either.
On driver's side, it's a waste of time, waste of space. On passenger side, it doesn't bother me because I have seen people use it to get in the passenger side. But as far as, yes, it's a waste. It's really a waste. They need to own a pillar.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But we were told that it couldn't be used there because of airbags. I'm just saying.
Other brands get away with it.
Which is exactly what we said when it all started coming out, and nobody believed that that's why we said it. But guess what? We were told by some powers that be that is why. But we're just gonna. Oh, we don't know anything.
I keep getting about the jerseys. These jerseys, we will have a few of them at Bronco Celebration East. So if you're coming to East, we will definitely
Supercell in April.
Yeah, in April. So we're already getting inventory in for that.
I already booked my cabin.
Yeah,
we tried to, but someone booked our cabin from last year.
Yeah. Because they moved the week.
Because they moved the week. Somebody doesn't even have the days booked really for Supercell. They have this Saturday through Tuesday of the next week. Bastards. So it's not even like it's Supercell week that they're booking it for. So we're a little
rude.
Sad. Yeah. So we're on the hunt for a good cabin.
Is this dash different, Allie? Because I don't recall
it having Bronco on it.
Yeah.
It is.
You said it is?
This is a fabulous question.
What?
Scroll back down. Scroll back down to the cup holders. You know, that looks like a pup cup holder.
Could be.
Probably for the key fob, isn't it?
No, that'd be a big hellish key fob. What are you going to buy your keys and you get like one?
I don't think I took a picture of the console.
What's the things you have to do when you go to the restrooms at these old
you used to have to take the stick or whatever.
Get a big stick with you for your car.
It's dog day.
But Al, you said that is new. That's stamped in the dash.
Yes.
Yeah, because I like that. I like that. It brought some of the fun of the bigger one.
Baseball Geek says, "Sorry, Dave. I bought my own Ranger Raptor. Loving it. That's awesome."
Be sorry. Enjoy it. Mine's going to go up for sale probably soon, but that's okay.
I mean, unless you were one of the people we were talking about buying the Ranger
I've had
Raptor.
several
Just
people
kidding.
reaching out to me. So, anyways, little side pockets. That's all fun. I do like the color of this. The dash, the screen, which we'll get to here. If I can get it to do that.
Did y'all see the Outer Banks interior? I think they're keeping the blue and the brown from what I read.
We did. There is a nice brown baseball glove leather. Yeah, it's very nice. Big screen now. So this is obviously carryover from the new Maverick. These things share a lot of the same.
Yeah, it's a 13.2 screen.
I do love that they're doing a 360 camera on the Sport though too.
Yes.
Yeah, I think some of that might be federally regulated, like that these companies have to start introducing some of these because rear camera was mandated 5 or 6 years ago where every car has to have that. So I have a feeling that's that's coming, and these manufacturers know it. But no, it's a nice feature. What was the one you remember? What you noticed about the screen that you were like, why is it? The camera didn't fill up the whole screen, if I remember right.
Nope, that's a different vehicle we were talking about.
So this is the escape screen right now. This is the one the escape has.
Right. They moved the push button, so you have a nice little push button down here, which is nice. No control. Like, I need knobs, man. I need for the AC. I don't like this all up here. I just don't like that.
I know you don't. But you know what you still don't get in the Bronco Sport? Cooled seats.
Babe, this thing would have to be.
You still don't get cooled seats.
$80,000 Bronco.
But you know what I do have cooled seats in?
Uh-oh.
My Mazda CX-50 that I'm test driving this week.
Oh,
so
boy.
tell me why a sub $40,000 vehicle has cooled seats, but a Bronco Sport doesn't have cooled seats.
Do you want to? You have to go to a Lariat on an F-150, and you're at like $75,000.
Which is ridiculous to me. I'm sorry, it is ridiculous to me.
I never said it wasn't ridiculous.
So sit back to the Sport ladies. Something they said was a carryover inspired by the Bronco Raptor, which is just PR talk for we're going digital screen. In the center was the digital screen in the center, which you're going to see that in the 25. I have a feeling, I don't know for a fact, but you're going to see that in the 25 Bronco.
Yeah,
they're going to do away with.
They're not going to do it to the Sport and not do it to the Bronco.
Yeah.
Right. It's not going to carry over. So the big talk of the week too with the PR folks was the plan. The reason why they wanted to go Sasquatch in the Bronco Sport was to bridge the gap between the big Bronco and the baby Bronco.
Well, you did kill the base Bronco, so this does kind of fill that need now, I guess.
So really, that kind of is like bridging the gap. And to be honest with you, that makes sense. I don't know if it was an afterthought or whether it was a true like point and plan of the actual, the revisions and everything else. But I think they did a good job at it, and I told them that when they were kind of asking for feedback and things like that. So I do think there's a lot that's standard on the entire line, which is great for it, but I'll be curious to see what that does to the price point.
You do get little paddle shifters on this thing. Little, you can almost see them there. So you can go in manual mode when you're in off-road mode and shifty's how you want to do it. USB A and C down here, and in the rear was completely C. So that was kind of nice. I think I think honestly you can just, because Apple goes to C completely with the next phone. They know this in advance. They should have just went completely C.
And there's the wireless charging in all levels of it as well.
I'm not gonna lie, but I don't use a C charger yet. So
till you upgrade your phone.
You will.
And I literally have been pushing off upgrading my phone because
as I need to charge.
She has to put hers on a C charger.
Yeah.
So that's kind of nice. Wireless charging here, which was very nice. And you said that was standard, right?
It's standard across the entire fleet of the Bronco Sports.
So that's pretty cool. Once again, the shifter kind of bothers me just a little bit. I wish they would have a little better. But here's the Sasquatch package, as you can see here. So we're getting a 29 point what, Kelly?
29.47 is what they told me was the measurement. Because I told him, I said, why didn't they just go 30? He said, do you want to know what the actual measurement is of it? And I said, yes. And he said it's a 29.47 inch tire. So it's close with the 17-inch wheels on it.
And I have a feeling it was because the manufacturer, this is the tire they have.
Yeah.
Like they would have loved to have said, hey, we have a 30-inch tire on this thing.
Yeah.
Still, it's pretty rugged. The sport bar in front, I could give or take about that.
Yeah, but it does come standard on the Black Diamond and the Sasquatch.
Badlands. Sasquatch, yeah. I mean, I get it. I get what they're doing with that. They're trying to bring in that rugged full-size Bronco stuff and that, but I don't know anybody that runs it in the full size. I remember it was a big thing on the first editions and all that. You saw a lot of this, and then suddenly,
and then you don't see them as much.
All the Ford bolts here, the Bronco bolts are everywhere on this. And of course they mentioned, just like the little guy or the big Bronco, they have those there. It's made for accessories, and
they're the same bolts.
Yeah. And this here, nice. I guarantee you they're going to have a little winch plate that comes out here for this, which would be nice for the Bronco Sport people. We know people that like off-roading these things. And they would like it to be a little bit more capable.
Well, and there is a steel bash plate on the Sasquatch package that was not previously. So it is still the same on the non-Sasquatch package, but it is a steel.
Josh says this is removable. Yes, they talked about that as
Yes.
well,
Yeah.
where you can actually put your dune flags on that.
Yes.
Which was, I thought,
absolutely.
I thought they're paying attention.
And if
You're
you
like, well,
see
that's-
metal on the vehicle, it is metal. So like you see that it is a steel bumper. So just
And
so
it-
you know, it's not plastic.
And it's kind of funny that you say that because I was with some people at Silver Lake and they had 23s and 24 Bronco Sports. And the one issue we had was like where to mount the flag.
Yeah.
And one guy slipped off and he's like, well, not for long. And I just kind of looked at him and he kept like doing it. I'm like, all right. I'm like, something's changing. They
Yeah.
know what's up.
So yeah, so they actually talked about that being the a dune flag attachment at the press release.
I will say out of all the press releases I've been to for Ford recently, they're definitely pay more attention than you would think to what the communities are doing with the vehicles and what they're asking for the vehicles. Because even Maverick, they were very aware with the Maverick press event of, hey, we're paying attention with the community. We made these changes because not because we wanted to necessarily, but because the community was asking for some of these changes. But I think these are going to end up in a landfill somewhere. Honest to God, I mean,
a lot of people aren't going to want it.
If you truly want to do something with this, I don't know, man. It just doesn't do anything for me, and it never has on the Bronco.
Well, and the one thing we didn't ask about that, which we just didn't have enough time to kind of think about it. But I would like to know, because we know historically brush guards in general, unless they are mounted correctly, if they're going to be a damage multiplier.
Well, no, it doesn't matter if they're mounted correctly or not. They're just going to, they're not as high strength steel as they should be.
So that's why that should have been a question we should have asked them.
There's an insurance something to this.
I would think so too. So I'd be curious to know like what kind of steel it is.
And you know what people are going to do? They're going to take that off and they're going to paint these a red or something anyways.
Yeah.
And it's going to look cool and they're going to be a happy customer. But it definitely is a point that you could use for a recovery point.
Oh, for sure. Because there's actually 4 recovery points on the Bronco Sport too. He's not a fan. He's already made a couple
I know,
comments
I've seen him. That's hilarious. The wheels though, you definitely inspired by the full size Bronco Sasquatch package.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not bad. Not my favorite, honestly, but I haven't seen anything on a Bronco Sport that I've ever kind of liked as a wheel package. So
Really?
I wouldn't beat
love
it up.
those.
You what?
I said I love those.
I like them.
Well, I mean, it definitely gives it the more rugged thing. I'm not like just shitting on them, but I don't know. I could.
God, first you're shitting on
No, you know what would have been cool though
designs.
if this outside of it would have been solid, it would have made the tire look bigger, and it would have looked beefier.
But that would have been a direct copy of the upper.
Who cares?
Yeah.
I'm just
they're already calling it a Sasquatch.
Yeah, but they're trying to stand out a little bit, but not be the same. So there's a difference.
I mean, I'm not completely against that.
But having off-roaded this in a small, like it was a 1 mile trail. So like we're not even going to really truly call it that I off-roaded it. But I will say that it impressed me. It impressed me with the off camber. It impressed me with the rock crawl. It impressed me with the off-road mode. Now, in its defense, I have not wheeled a Bronco Sport prior to now. So I don't have anything to compare it to, but I was impressed by the capability of it. And it does have I think it's like an 8.7 inch clearance in the Sasquatch package.
I want to say it's still right in line with what Subaru.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
They're neck and neck on that.
Honestly,
I'll be honest, the old Xteras and stuff, they were 8.5 clearance.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they were.
So we were used to that type of thing.
Yeah, so it's definitely in that. I love the kind of that black roof with that pink color is really cool. One of the cool features is this right here. And I know Allie was asking us about this, of what's going on with that. Let's see if I can find a picture.
I was waiting for you to get to that point because
that was awesome. I love this.
Yeah, so it is. I'm not sure the actual material, but it felt like aluminum or steel.
It's
Well, I
definitely
think
chunk
it can
aluminum.
only do 150 pounds.
Yeah, it's cast
Yeah.
aluminum.
Yeah, so it's 150 pounds. And so what was cool about it is the engineers actually kind of talked about this. It was like, hey, we did a lot of research on this to find out the right angle so that it was so you could get enough distance away from the vehicle so that you're not scratching it. But you can still tie it down to the roof of the vehicle. And it does have that 150 pounds.
Yes, Steve, that would be her armadillo.
Yeah.
But what this is really thinking outside the box, because I would, I'm pretty creative with, especially with kind of having to manufacture way I used to have to do parts. If we wanted something for our Nissans, we had to make it.
Yeah.
That was really cool. Now I will say it felt a little wobbly.
Yeah.
Not like bad wobbly, but they definitely were, hey, these are pre-production.
Right.
We want you to be aware. So I'm not going to beat them up against, about that. But what a great idea, man. I mean, I would like to see this for the trail sites turn into the trail sites for the Bronco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think because everybody likes that kind of classic look, I think you could put those down in there. And then when you needed it, it just pops up.
And we did actually mention that to the engineers. So if it, comes to fruition.
Yeah, it was Kelly's fault. Sorry. If you don't like it, it was Kelly's fault. But I wasn't expecting this.
I wasn't either until we saw the press release, and I was like, dang, that's pretty smart. And what's actually funny about it, I don't know if you saw this, Allie, in one of our favorite groups, that somebody had posted about tie downs on their Bronco Sport. And I was thinking to myself, like, where the hell are you going to tie it down? Because they were asking about trail sites.
Well, last week,
for their vehicle.
Last week, the irony of last week, you guys were talking about in that women's group.
That's why.
So, I know the irony of then the next week we see this. I'm like, well, maybe they were onto something and we were just assholes.
Or maybe they were just putting it out there and they already knew.
That's right.
It's one of those.
I'm not gonna lie. I've muted so much of that group. It literally makes me bang my head against my desk.
But it's very in line with Ford. So you got to kind of Ford, the way they've been doing their badging on the side of their trucks and stuff, the way that outline of that looks, and it tucks away nicely.
Yes.
Now was it, I don't remember, was it spring loaded?
Oh, now you're going to ask me. I could have told you if you hadn't asked.
No, I'm sure they'll figure it out, but
I don't think so.
I can only imagine it starting to rattle.
Yeah.
I doubt. I mean, Ford's, they're well aware of that one, but I could see like that being kind of an issue here. You see the skid plates here. Nice little fog lights on that. You like Allie said, it's got all the monitoring systems all the way around it now, which is very nice. They're very proud of that as well, because in the rear, tow hooks, and you can see this is once again a metal bumper, but all the sensors around, because they didn't have the rear sensors, right?
Yeah, you only get that with a Sasquatch though.
No, but you didn't. I don't think that was an option before. Was
He's saying before.
Oh, there's rear sensors. Yeah.
Was there for pedestrian sensors or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They were talking about something about the rear of this thing.
It's the 360 that's new to it.
But this tow hook on this thing, I have to admit, was
pretty stout.
Yeah, it was pretty beefy.
I like it.
You definitely could go have some fun in this thing, and I would love to spend some time off-roading one of these things.
Yeah, I would love to take it out with my Bronco and kind of see. And we wouldn't take it as extreme trails as what we would take
to
with
Kroger,
Rebecca.
to Walmart, somewhere like that, right?
No, but we would take it out to kind of test it a little bit, just to kind of see what it would do. So I would be curious to see kind of what we would run into.
Peugeot, come on now. You know the old Cherokees, they're unibodies, and you could tow and pull people out of those.
So Peugeot has a good point. He says, I don't hate everything about the Bronco Sport. It does get better co-pilot features and better interior design generally. Yeah, it does. It actually has the co-pilot plus, I think is what they called it.
Yes, or it does still have the bottle.
And it has a Sync 4 in it too.
Now this is hilarious to me, because when we were filming this video, Kelly, because this was one of the quickest in and out press events I've ever been to. They were very like, oh, time to go. And I chose the last, thinking we would get a little more time.
And I can't imagine having flown in for this. So we drove over for it.
Yeah.
It was 3 hours. So I can't even imagine flying in we're very appreciative that we got to go. Don't get me wrong, but it was just we needed more time with the vehicle.
Yes. But Kelly we're walking through and we didn't get to completely prep, and we're filming this video, and she went and hit it and it couldn't get the door to come up, and you had hit the glass side, which was funny.
It'll make it to bloopers.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Maybe one day. But let's see.
But yeah, there is 2 buttons there, one for the glass and one for the gate.
Yeah, that's the interior again.
Hey, there's your pup cup. There you go. There's your pup cup.
It's perfect.
Or a baby bottle.
Which was right.
Maybe.
So going back to like driving them.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I have to say, like, so when we got to do dealer preview back when all this was launching, I will say, like, I was more impressed with Bronco Sport than I was with the full size. Granted,
Wow.
like, I mean, like, me driving the full size, like, sold it for me, and, like, that's what made me, like, get my Bronco. But honestly, I was more surprised, and that's, like, Mike is my witness, because he was with me the whole day. Because, like, when you look at full size, you know what that can do.
Yeah.
When we did almost the same trails as some of the like full-size Broncos in the sports, I was like, oh, I'm like, this is a lot different than I thought. So, but it's definitely I think adding Sasquatch and adding, which some people, so I posted the video obviously today. But I had 3 people message me that they didn't even know they could get a black diamond package in 24.
I'm sorry, that's the dumbest thing.
I don't think I knew it. I'll be honest.
I remember, but that's muddies the water of just they don't need a. It's stupid because it's confusing because if the Bronco Sport buyer wants to move up, then they think the black diamond is just some packet. Like they're effing up the waters there of the civilian trying to buy these.
There
things.
was some feedback given at our press event by another journalist that was just like, it is kind of like the buying process can be a little confusing with all the trims and the this and the package and that and type of thing. And they were taking that feedback, and I did tell them, I said I completely agree. When the full size came out and you had to have a grid essentially to be like, which I know we've talked about this and we've all talked about this on the channel, is that when you had to have essentially a spreadsheet grid of like, if you want this feature, take this, so I think it can get a bit confusing with some of those things, when it comes to that.
Ragnicon, I have like 6 on my lot. Come to Brighton.
I was going to say, I've not seen one out in the wild either.
God,
actually, we just sold one of our first few the other day.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
If somebody likes that, bless their heart. The colors they used, what they didn't use? The ugly ass blue that the Maverick got. Thank you, Ford, for not that. Why somebody thought, what would be fun? This ugly navy blue that doesn't go with anything.
Because you're not an interior designer, Dave. Don't you know navy's where it's at?
Yeah, that's why it's not in any of this. Overall though, I like the dash quite a bit. When we sat in it for the first time, I was very impressed with the layout.
Yes, and we didn't get to see it, but there is a bottle opener somewhere in this.
No, I know where it might be in one of these. This is a big plus to me.
Yes,
I love this.
And they are pre-wired, just like Big Bronco. They are pre-wired to locations in the vehicle, which thank you, Ford, for doing that. Not just shoving switches in there that, then you got to tear your whole interior out to make work. I thought that was very cool and it's the same switch as the Big Bronco and the Raptors and everything. So that was very cool.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was great for those off-road modifiers that want to modify their vehicle enough to kind of go out there and do all the things that they want to with it.
Yeah. And it's definitely hey, we definitely know the feedback the Jeep guys were giving this little thing. And so let's bring some of the features in. So clean up that just a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man. Let's see here what pops up. Oh, Allie, accessory ready. So
Go pros.
Well, yes. Sport owners, 67 Designs and all the mount companies are all just itching to make a mount for your phone to hang up here, because that was one thing that the sport guy, after they saw the full size, they're kind of like, hey man,
here's mine.
Yeah. And this is something I think all car manufacturers need to look at, is adding a place where people can mount phones. That's not a suction cup when you're in traffic or doing 90 miles an hour through following Kelly through Western Michigan. That's your phone
It was
mount falls over.
93. Thank you very much.
Your phone mount falls over. Somehow it wedges between you and your gas pedal, and you end up going off the bridge somewhere.
Wow.
And they go, "What was the cause of death?" Apple, iPhone.
That
Cause
is
of
that.
But no, like in 2 USB-Cs up here, Bronco only gets one, right? Or is there 2 up there?
One.
Full size.
Wait,
I think there's only 1 plug-in up there.
I think there's one.
So, and it's the A, so 2 Cs up here, which that's coming to Bronco as well, full size. But I thought this was cool that they thought enough of sport to give it those features.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
Navy is the new flag.
And carrying over the ability to make all the modifications and saying, "Hey, this screw means that you can modify." I think that's a really cool touch of them.
Yeah,
kind of.
I didn't notice this at the event. See, it says Bronco right there in reverse.
Huh?
It's kind of weird. Like somebody's going to drive up to your car.
They're going to look out the window.
Somebody's trying to break in.
You want to see Bronco?
They're trying to break into your car, and they're like, "Oh wait, this is a Bronco. We don't do that." You know what? You know what's great? Better than this. Than the full-size Bronco?
Oh, yeah, the B&O sound system.
The radio sounds like 1,000% better than the $70,000 Big Brother.
Yeah, but do you think it's because of how small the Sport is?
No, I just think it's because it's a solid roof. Like they could put speakers where they should actually go.
I think it's because you're not taking doors off that takes the sound off. I think it's because you don't have a bar across your head that you have to worry about, like that doesn't have sound in it. Right. So that's where I think actually we were talking about this a couple weeks ago of like how we kind of understand why the sound system isn't what it should be within reason, because you're taking doors off. You don't have the bar across your head like Jeep does, so you've got that open air experience, so you're worrying about the speakers in the back. What?
To hell with that open goofy air thing, like they're selling that as. I know what, talking to some people we've talked to recently, I guarantee you there was a mandate going, can't do that because the other brand does that.
I'm sure.
But the speakers in our Jeep was a bass system. Sounded really good. 1,000% better than the Bronco does. I was going to pick our daughter up today, and our Bronco doors are off. I'm just.
He's trying to be the cool dad.
No, I just was like, Bronco hadn't been in a week or so.
You know, Allie. He's trying to be the cool dad.
I like riding around with the doors off, and I went to crank up some tunes, man, some Van Halen, and guess what? It sounded like it was out of my from the 80s little Walkman thing I had.
You should have just gotten a JBL speaker and put it in there. It probably would have sounded better.
I'm just going to wire.
Take the Apple TV or the Apple.
Our new speaker that we bought for the ball field.
Oh,
I'm just going to put that in the background.
Or just take one of our home pods, our mini home pods, and just put it. It's now the Broncos home pod.
Yeah, it just.
Oh my God, she stole our whole box of treats. Hold on.
Oh.
God.
Well, we've lost Allie. Overall, though, very rugged, Kelly.
Yeah.
I was very impressed with this little thing, and I don't have a picture of that bottle opener, but I know Tim Bart's. I want to say he in one of his videos today was talking about that it was a carry over, and I want to bring up their video for this, so just bear with me. These weather changing, all this crap's doing wonders in my voice. My voice is trying to go away.
Ford enthusiast says, Alcione, I'm wondering if I should wait for 26 to see what they do or just order a 25 Sasquatch.
Or full size?
Sasquatch edition.
Anyway.
For full size?
Welcome back. I don't know.
Thanks.
I was trying to read over it.
26 is when you're going to see the major changes for
full
Big
size.
Bronco.
Yeah.
But it's just a mid-cycle change. Don't expect like some revolutionary.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna. That's the thing. I don't think it's gonna be anything crazy.
I think we'll get a new radio. I think the dash will change definitely.
Oh, for sure.
I think those grab handles.
They can't do this to Bronco Sport and not do it to full size now.
Well, I like the 12-inch screen in the Bronco, though. Kelly was saying some ladies were bitching about that today because they couldn't watch TV on it, which is the
it was thing. Somebody had posted and they were like, "Don't flame me for this. I'm asking for a friend who has a Bronco Raptor." It was like, I think this big screen is a waste if I couldn't play videos on it, and I'm just like,
you're not at home.
You're not supposed to be watching a video driving on the road anyway. Like,
Unless it's an all-terrain nation video, of course.
I just don't understand it.
Yeah,
Oh,
Josh
boy.
Hamilton new sound system, 100%. They're going to fix that problem.
They've heard enough feedback on
I
it.
think
They
that's
know.
one of those that they know they couldn't fix. I mean, they tried to give everything the sub, which still that's barely gives you any bass. But I definitely think for 26 is when we go, oh, we get a real sound system now.
Right.
And talking to some of the design team, I understand a lot now why certain things are the way they are.
For sure.
Did y'all know that the screens in the Bronco are their F-150 screens?
Right.
Like that's there was such a thing bringing Bronco back. They had to not cheapen out on things, but they had to get off some shelf items
Retrofit a little bit.
to make, because you know there was a little bit of iffy. Does this sell?
Right.
And
You-
I'm not gonna like mention names and stuff, but I think you guys even learned a lot at Silver Lake.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Talking to you know who, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, some of the key things. And also I asked that person, I was like, why didn't you just put the door latches on the outside, the hinges, so we can easily put the doors on? And he was like, because the higher ups didn't want it to look like the other brand and they wanted it smooth. And I was like, I told him, you know what I said? The 66 one had them on the outside, so I don't want to hear this. Like, we can't do it.
Yeah.
And that's all of our conversations we've had. So we're going to keep on rolling. Dave's going to show this video now.
Keep on rolling. A little bit of off-roading here with this thing. I was very impressed with this. Break this down because who cares about sound? I
And
do
this
like
is
how
not
they
me driving.
they drove past the actual obstacle.
Yeah, this is B-roll that was sent over.
Right. But
I have this.
you could take this to Windrock and easily in a lot of the
Oh, yeah.
trails and have some fun. That's not Josh Hamilton driving though.
It is not.
But Allie, what are something that stood out to you that once you finally got to learn about this thing? What was the one thing you're like, holy shit, that's a game changer for this truck or SUV?
There's a lot.
I need one, just one. What's the key one?
Suspension.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Haas 3.0.
Mm-hmm.
no, not 3.0.
Yeah, there's a.
That is.
Yeah, it is. It's 3.0.
They're calling it 3.0 in this.
Yes.
Okay. I was just,
You weren't paying attention and you just
God, you
thought you
should've
were going to
read
make
it.
me stupid.
no. I know that they talked about bringing some of the to the rear suspension, but I didn't
Yes.
hear them call it 3.0.
They did.
Because I think it's definitely going to help not that the Sport has a bad ride. I think if you're actually doing this, you need a little bit more control.
Mhm.
But I think people are finally like learning like what these can actually do. And this just brings their idea to light.
I like when you plug in slow motion mode like it is right here. It's a goat mode that you push in and
It
suddenly
is
you're just
not.
slow motion.
Shut up. So yes, Badlands Sasquatch
Okay.
has the Haas 3.0. It also has an 850 watt cooling fan. So that's the addition to
Yes,
the
there
to
was
that
Yeah, and
because
I
they
think
need to
that
pull it
the
off.
clearance in the front, I want to say it's like 8 point.
Yeah, it's like 8.6 or 8.7.
It does have
Yeah.
a
Is what it
larger
is.
oil cooler in as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was, I will say this, somebody's posted our video today, made a comment of like, I wish it had a low range. And I was like, it's pretty low range when you put it in
Same.
the rock crawl mode or whatever. It was very torquey.
Yeah.
Or Ragnar cards. And I was shocked when I learned that it was on Outer Banks.
Yeah.
Yes, with the smaller engine, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was floored.
Oh, and people were I've seen this in the Maverick as well. People were commenting about why is it losing horsepower? And that's all due to not every state is required, but California and your fun states you have a particulate canister in the fuel system. And
Yeah.
it's big in Europe. They do this in Europe. It's not brand new, but it is for the United States that they're now requiring a freaking filter.
Yeah.
Oh my God! If one sniff of
For EP. EPA.
fuel got out, Lord help us.
Yeah, and maybe Allie has more to say on that. I don't understand why there's no shark fin antenna either. Like, I don't understand why we're not just cutting it down.
Yeah, Ford has this real hard on for this antenna, man.
Hey, Ford loves antennas, okay? Look at Bronco. Look at F-150.
Well,
don't
that's
have
like
antennas.
when I may or may not have been driving 93 miles an hour in Michigan. Like my
Marty,
antenna was
come
doing
quick.
this. I'm like, really? Why?
Yeah.
I was expecting to lose it on the way to Silver Lake.
Oh, we lost it.
That's the game changer for me of all things.
The tie down?
Yeah, the tie down. Like it's just genius the way that it was done.
I think you'll see that on the F-150s at some point.
Could be.
I think it's an interesting way of solving that problem. I was surprised though, like the tailgate, there wasn't really any changes to I don't think even the headlights changed, right? They looked like the same headlights.
Headlights are the same.
Yeah, so they didn't really go nuts with this, but they gave it enough changes.
Mm-hmm.
Now Badlands Sasquatch, what do you expect that to be price wise? Because that's where it starts getting a little muddy waters.
What's MSRP right now for like the top right now, Allie?
Under 39. It's right at 39, I think.
No, some of them get up to like 42.
So I think you're looking at 45, maybe 46 for it.
So I can tell you because I have it pulled up right now.
Oh,
Well,
is it official?
Yeah.
Oh, when did they
Release numbers?
Building price has been up all day.
Oh, well, let's quickly build and price one. That'll be fun.
So I have a Badlands built in Azure Gray. Shocker.
Why aren't you putting it in ruby red?
Hello. Azure Gray.
Hello.
So I have a Badlands, but I only added Sasquatch and the tech package. Oh, I did add elevation graphic package because that was kind of cool. But I'm at $46,835.
So Badlands starts out at 39,900.
Okay.
There. So let's just we'll quickly build a Badlands. It can't take that long.
You know where we're going.
We're going ruby red.
$495.
Right? We're going Azure Gray.
All right, we'll look at that real quick because this is a new thing Ford's bringing in that Jeep does. Every color now costs you except white. What did they say?
White and gray.
White, black, and gray, maybe. So Azure, of course, it's always $1,000. That's a little bit harder color. Ruby red, $495. Eruption green metallic, that wasn't previously in the Sport, was it? Eruption green.
The brown went away.
No, I think you can get it this year.
Okay. The desert sand, which I think you will definitely see in the 25 Bronco. I think when you see these colors here, you have a very good idea what you're going to see for Bronco. Which I wish this was just a hair darker. Just a hair darker. But $295 upcharge, not too bad.
What's his name?
Velocity Blue, $295. Shadow Black, free. Which that blacked out like that? Pretty cool.
Do y'all follow Chris Fields? He is Fields Day on Instagram.
I don't know. I don't. He does the Instas.
So it was super funny. We were chatting about it today. And he asked, and he's like, we're going back and forth on desert sand. And he's like, is this it? As we get done talking about it, I'm like, how is it that you go and find the one and park next to it in the parking lot when you haven't seen it at all?
That's funny.
All right, let's see. There's package groups.
That's your Badlands.
Yeah. So before you get the 225s and with the Sasquatch, it was a 235 tire.
Mm-hmm.
Sasquatch package is available early, and they did mention that it wouldn't be till the first year till you can get that.
But it's only for retailed orders. They're not doing dealer stock of these until next year sometime.
Yeah. So, Kelly, you want to read off what everything is included with the Sasquatch?
Hey, look, there's the Haas
I
3.0
see that.
off-road suspension. Bilstein position sensitive dampers, which I will say I did notice when off-roading.
They're just the rears, though.
But I did notice it. There were times where I felt like I should have, but they definitely softened it.
Mm-hmm.
The 850 watt engine cooling fan, which we talked about, the steel plated rear bumpers. Again, if you see metal, it is metal. The brush guard, high clearance fender flares, class 2 trailer tow package with trailer sway control, full size spare. That's a big thing too, is the full size spare in there. I know a lot of people.
It wasn't the Goodyear.
But you know what also it wasn't? It also was not the matching wheel on it either.
Well, I mean, that's usually a given for spares.
I mean, I'm just saying, if you're going to put a full size in there, you might as well. Do it. Recovery hooks, like we talked about, 4 of them, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. 17-inch ebony black painted aluminum wheels,
Love
and
it.
the 235/65 R17 ATs,
which are Goodyear.
And aux switches.
Yep, and you get those aux switches and wiring, and then the seats have that salt crystal insert with orchid yellow accents and stitching, which is the pretty color that you see there.
Yeah.
So Badlands Tech Package. So that gives you the
That
B&O
B&O.
sounds. Yeah. So you're gonna get you HD radio, noise reduction module. So $865 an hour. I don't want to really. I'll do an official building price on this thing. The graphics package, like Allie was talking about, which was
No, you were
cool.
talking about the elevation one, weren't you? I think she was doing.
Yeah,
that.
elevation.
But
Sorry.
Sasquatch package, it gives you Sasquatch on the side, which I could give or take on the side, but I did find it fun on the hood.
Yeah.
I don't know why
Let me while we're building this, little shout out. If you're going to Colorado with us, Bronco Nation posted the drives to sign up for, because you do have to sign up.
So check it out.
So if Laura's texting Allie right now and saying, "Hey, could you mention this thing?"
Stop it.
Say
No,
hi
she
to-
didn't even say mention it. She just said, "Hey, sign up." But I'm riding with people. I'm not actually riding.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, Laura.
But there's the elevation graphics, which I don't think we saw, did we?
I don't
I
remember
love
seeing it.
them. Look at how cool they look. I would get that on Bucky.
The wheels. So if we're
Wow.
doing Sasquatch, you're getting those wheels. A topographical package. Do
Topo.
they have? Well, it's topographic, but topographic, how do you say it? In the biz.
Topo.
Wow.
Yeah, in the biz. So wheels that come with that, they do come with those Goodyears. Underbody protections included. Remote start. Is that standard across the board? I don't recall.
I don't remember them talking about that. Allie, do you know?
Sorry, what?
Remote
start.
Key fob.
Is it standard?
So pretty sure that's going to be standard starting on Big Ben with the convenience package. Hold on one second.
Roof rail crossbars. So if you want the crossbars on there, you want to put a rooftop tent or something like that. The mud flap kit rear. What is this?
There you go. $340.
I gotta be honest, I'm not paying $340. And you know what? Every dealer will add this. I don't know why. I don't know why.
For
Like
what?
ordering
The
managers
mud flaps.
just go like, yeah, mud flaps every time. Like they always put them
We
on them.
don't order them on anything.
Oh, thank God, because every dealership I've ever seen seems to put those stupid things on there.
No.
Keyless
They're a pain in the ass.
entry pad, $225. Seemed like that used to be like $160.
I don't remember.
A privacy curtain. Ooh, when we're away from home, you get the privacy curtain.
So, okay,
So at
wait.
Peugeot, it's a Haas 2.0 if it's not the 3.0.
For remote start, I think it is standard actually. So like, no matter what, if you have Ford Pass, you have remote start anyway.
Yeah.
Which is usually how we use it anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What is the AG?
Tell me they forgot to tell you, or tell me that you forgot to adjust the actual name
Yeah.
to it without telling me. Click on it.
A1G GABA.
Pre-production computer generated images shown. I don't know what that is. What's an A1 GAB?
I love that feature.
Me too. If
Is
you
it-
click on it, what does it do? Anything?
It was a little expensive though. I'm scared to click on it. Bike rack. These are all just BS.
Yeah, just kind of extra.
Oh, cool! You get a radio included. So the B&O sound system does not come with the Sasquatch. I thought it did.
It's an upgrade.
It
It's the tech
says
package.
Tech package.
Yeah, it's
okay.
the tech package.
But summary. Let's see here quickly. We're at $45,000.
Isn't that what I said?
It
Didn't I
is.
say 45?
It is. Wow. We
Yeah,
added.
mine was 46.
That's.
Because of Azure Gray.
Because of the graphic. Well, and the graphic, you added the graphic too.
I'm sorry that is getting a little pricey.
What isn't getting a little pricey?
Right.
I know, but thinking that I could buy my initial Sasquatch or my initial
Bronco.
two-door Bronco was $45,000 that I was going to order.
Which was Black Diamond.
No, that was the initial was a Badlands, but it wasn't. It was Sasquatch.
No, because
My
oh.
two-door. I have the videos to prove
I
it.
talked you into Badlands. Because I
No,
needed.
because my Badlands
Diamond.
was 52, and it's a 4-door.
That's what I said. You were Black Diamond, and I talked you into Badlands.
So 4-door, yes. But when I initially reserved and I was like, oh, 2-door, it was a Badlands, not a Sasquatch. But anyways, but $45,000 is that's a spicy meatball on that one. So there you go, kids. That's roughly what, if you want the ultimate version of the sport, that's what it's going to cost you. So, well, we got to look at the poll because I always do this.
We do. We put a poll up and then we forget to close it. So we're ending it.
Oh wow! I would have not suspected this one.
All right. So we're gonna close it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, Kelly. So
all right. So the
results.
question was which top. Actually, it says which top would look better.
Told me to check
I
that.
did. I told you. Which top would look better on the Ford Bronco Ruby Red? And
The question, the
options were
yes.
Mick Gray hardtop, painted body hardtop, or painted black hardtop. And honestly, it was with 44 votes. It was kind of split pretty close, but Mick won it out at 36%. The other two had 31% each.
I know the Mick top will it'll stand out too much. It'll that like this color.
I think it's because we're so used to seeing the Mick top that it's like we don't change my.
No, I just think with that color, I think Mick top looks great on white.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So I think that there's a lot of people that are like aren't willing to want to see the change.
Yeah, that's fine.
And now that we mentioned about it looking like a Jeep with the painted hard top.
So we've had 50 some people in this live stream and only 29 likes, guys. Come on. I need the like button smashed for me, please.
Honest said that he would unlike, but he's afraid that we wouldn't have any likes if he unliked.
Wow. Honest brings the heat.
And it is Honest's birthday today.
What?
Yes.
Happy birthday, sir.
So happy birthday, sir.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
Hey, I got 4 more followers.
Yay.
How many?
Nice.
4.
Hey, man. That's where it's at. Now watch the video too, please.
Yes. Honest is 30 again.
Oh, man. Again?
Yeah.
I get it. I'll be 50.
How many likes do I have? I have 25 likes on it now.
Well, there you go.
They like you. They really, really like you.
Yeah, that's a good call, RagnarCon. The Mick top matches all of the exterior plastic trim. Makes sense.
I think you're wrong. They've changed the dash. Badlands now has a black dash with the fake stitching, orange stitching in it. Maybe I need to get some orange stitching for these hats.
Y'all, I'm married to this guy.
Well, yeah, it was your choice. That
I
wasn't their
know.
doing.
You said yes.
I know.
I know.
A long time ago. We were actually talking about that recently. We have been together for 18 years.
Man.
Killing it.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That's right. So there is the Bronco Sport.
Right. Thank you, Jason Leopold. The dash is not exterior trim, Dave.
That's a good point. So guys, in any videos we do, we have a Teespring. Well, you'll see all kinds of gear pop up for Teespring, which Kelly has on one of our Teespring shirts currently. Which I think I've made that logo slightly smaller. But today in the mail, we got a sample of the hoodie.
It's actually really soft.
Yeah, they have really good hoodies.
I'm surprised.
I'm a sucker for a good hoodie.
I know. It's actually, this is not almost as soft as the hoodie that you have on. The Mountains to Metal hoodie.
That one is currently packed.
Oh, it's not the Mountains to Metal that you're wearing right now?
Silver Lake.
Oh, it's Silver Lake. Okay. So this is almost as soft as the Mountains to Metal hoodie.
Yeah,
clearly it's better than the Mountains to Metal hoodie.
I'm just saying, so those that have them,
it's more
one
rugged.
is not as soft.
It's more rugged.
just gonna put it out there.
It doesn't break down at Buc-ee's.
But I spent a lot of unnecessary
Wow.
Sorry, Nick, if you're watching.
Too soon, Dave. Too soon.
Why did they break down? What happened to them? Do you know?
I have no idea. Do you know what happened, Allie?
They were leaving the Stampede and somehow broke. They seem to either go to events and break.
Oh, Jess might know. because I think she
Wait,
was the one that
who was
told
it?
us. Mountains to Metal.
Every time they go to an event, they either break their going there or coming home.
Huh.
So, Jason, I have seen all of your travels with your ATN hat, and it makes me laugh every single time. And Dave and I laugh about it every single time we see it.
I liked it when you were at the pool.
I liked it when you were in, like, was it the Dominican or was it Puerto Rico or Cabo? There was
It's
some,
like, where has ATN been?
right. It was one of those beach trips.
So it's kind of funny because we have a restaurant like that in Michigan. It's called Zuki Lake Tavern.
Huh.
And it's in Pinckney. It's literally in the middle of like nowhere. But like everyone has their shirt.
That's funny. Yes,
Uh,
Jason Leopold, it was Cabo. That's it. Yes. I mean, you would know, you went.
I am leaving
I lived vicariously through your Cabo trip.
April 22nd for
Oh,
Supercell and leaving the 26th.
I think she means Colorado.
Oh.
A little early for.
Yeah, I think she means west.
No, because we're all booking cabins in our group chat and she's the only one who hasn't. But I leave for Colorado on a week.
Hey, this is a family show. It's not really.
Yeah, we don't talk weeks around here.
Shut up.
Yeah, I leave Tuesday.
Whoops.
That's gonna come so fast.
Mm,
You're lucky. I love Colorado.
yeah.
I'm
I'm
so
super
excited.
jelly.
I mean, fingers crossed nothing happens this year like last year, but
I'm super jelly because we don't have any vacations scheduled. It's
I've got a Honda Press event coming up. That's my next vacation.
yeah, and then we've got Texas for a press event. And then we have
kind of Vegas.
And then Vegas-ish for
I need SEMA to go ahead
SEMA.
and approve the other two.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I'm excited for SEMA though. I think we're going to see some really cool stuff this year.
Yeah, I think it should be
I
fun.
have Colorado.
And that'll be it for the rest of the year.
Yeah, pretty
Allie's tapping out for the year. I've done enough.
I thought about the LA Auto Show, but probably not.
Are you guys gonna come up for Detroit?
That's January.
Yes.
January.
So I need
in Chicago.
You know what I need? I need a vacation to Bronco Off Rodeo East or Bronco Off Rodeo Tennessee.
What are you just pointing somewhere?
That's what I need, a
Bronco
vacation.
Yeah, so wait, I need to go there in October. So Ford, if you're listening,
same. We should be there for
the ladies' day.
I'll reach out to Brandon and see if we can make that happen. So that is the show tonight, guys. It's a sporty show, but it was a show. So ever have questions, comments, you made it this far in the podcast, we greatly appreciate that. Smash that like button for us. We would greatly appreciate that as well. Go over to Allie's video, which I will throw a link in just because, and check out her video because it was pretty good. I was very
impressed. Just help me get to 100 and I'll be happy.
Yes, get Allie a lot of views, and she would greatly appreciate that. So link is in there. I'll put it in the description as well of this video once it reposts.
Ford enthusiast says I was leaning towards Explorer until I saw today's announcement of the Bronco Sport.
Really?
Ooh.
Choice.
I don't know on that one.
Well, it's a different size.
It's a different vehicle altogether.
Yeah. So just kind of keep that in mind. Depends on your needs.
My need would be an ST Explorer. That's what my need would be. I need the zoomies.
I love the new 25 ST Explorer.
See, even Allie. Allie was trying to talk us into the Bronco Raptor earlier.
Yeah, it's true. There's Laura.
Hi, Laura. Laura, I don't know that that's going to happen. Not for two vehicles. I tried. Just the Raptor came in a little lower than expected. So whether it be two-wheel drive,
four-wheel drive,
or these badass Fords that we all pretty much like to drive, this has been your All Terrain Nation. I'm your host, David Boyd.
I'm Kelly Boyd.
And that is
Allie Du Bois.
Allie D. Peace.
Is she going to say anything?
Just pretend you don't have an option. Wait, do it again.